If you're excited to take your Power BI reporting skills from beginner to expert, this tip is for you. In this demo, I'll show you how to create modern interactive dashboards using custom slicer panels in Power BI Desktop. So to set the scene a little bit, imagine that the AdventureWorks leadership team came back to you and they said, hey, we love the executive dashboard view, but we need to add a few new filters. We want an easy way to filter this report by year, and we want to be able to filter by continent so that our territory directors can drill down to just the data relevant to their regions. So that's a very reasonable ask. It's a pretty simple thing to do technically, right? We've got the fields that we need, year and continent. We would just need to add 2 new slicers to this report page. But the problem is we already have a lot of detail on this page. We've already spent all this time designing our visuals and assembling the components together. The last thing I want to do is redesign this or crunch things together and add a bunch of slicers and filters to this page. This is where slicer panels come into play. It's going to give users a way to click a button here in our left nav bar to expose a new panel containing those slicers, but have them hidden from our default view. That will allow us to keep this really nice design that we've created and allow us to avoid adding more clutter to this page, which is a plus. So I'm going to walk through this step by step. Let's take it slow, try to follow along, and we'll see if we can build ourselves a custom slicer panel. So first step, I need to add a button here in our existing left nav bar that's essentially going to trigger that panel containing our new slicers. So we're going to go to Insert, take a look at our buttons. There's nothing I really like here. I kind of want one that has a filter icon. So we're going to use a custom one here. Let's insert blank, just like we did in the last demo. And what we're going to do is format that blank button to use our own icon. So button style, let's apply this to default first. And we're going to use a custom icon. And for this one, we're going to select this filter icon that we have here, starting with white by default. And as always, we can resize, we can nudge it into place and try to center it on our panel here. That looks good. And let's add our hover and click states as well, just so that we're consistent across the board. So on hover, our icon is going to be the blue version of that filter. And same story on press. Do a little test. Hover state looks good. So that's step 1 complete. We've created a button that users will be able to use to launch that slicer panel. Next step is to actually design the slicer panel itself. And to do that, I'm going to start by adding a new rectangle. And this is going to be the background of our panel. And I want it to be the full height of our page. Something like this should be just fine. Let's go ahead and customize this style a bit. We'll match that dark gray to our left nav bar, and we don't need a border here. So that looks good for our panel background. This is going to pop out when users click that button. Now we can go ahead and add those 2 new slicers that will sit right on top of this rectangle background. So let's start with our slicer for year. There we go, and we're going to do some formatting and configuration here. So starting with our slicer settings, I don't really want the between option here. I want both of these to be a checkbox or vertical list format, like so. And we can enable multi-select, and let's add the select all option to this slicer as well. And like we sometimes see with date slicers, we get that blank option by default. So I'm going to drill into filters, apply a basic filter on that year field, and just select everything except for blank. That will remove it from my values, which looks good. Next up, in the size and style options, let's get rid of that white background, and let's actually add a shadow, which is going to give us this subtle pop against the dark gray background. Now, of course, we need to change our text to white just to make it readable. So to do that, let's go down into our slicer header first. That's going to say year, which looks good. And let's use Seago UI bold, size 12 in white. There we go. We see our header update. We're going to do the same thing for our values. Seago UI, size 12 in white. I think that looks pretty solid. So I'm happy with that year slicer. At this point, I can copy that and I can paste it, drag it down. This is going to be our continent slicer now. Let's align it like so. Swap out year for continent. And all our formatting should still apply. Looks good. Let's test that this slicer actually impacts the page. There we go. Looks like it does. And let's make sure we're just selecting everything by default. So last thing I want to do here, we've got the state with our filter panel shown, but I need a way for users to get back to the hidden state. So we need to add one more button. And what I'm going to do is use this left arrow, kind of like a back button style. And this is going to sit in the top corner of our pane. Let's drag it over to the top right corner. And again, this is going to allow our users to click to essentially hide the panel from view. So I'll do a little bit of formatting on that button as well, starting with default. Let's make the icon color white. And then this should be pretty familiar by now. On hover, we want the line color to be bright blue. And same story on press. Line color blue. Test it. Looks good. So that captures the visible state for our slicer panel. Now to make things easier to work with, what I'm going to do is shift select to grab all four of these objects in our slicer panel, the two slicers, the back button, and the rectangle itself. Don't worry if things kind of seem to hide from view. We should still be good to go. Let's drill into our selection pane. You see those four objects already selected. Let's right click and group them together. And let's call this group Slicer Panel. All right, and now if we show and hide, you can see that that panel contains all four of those objects we just created. So we're getting close. The next step is to create bookmarks to capture these states, the slicer panel shown and the slicer panel hidden. So we'll start with it visible, like so. This kind of represents the report view that we're looking at. Looks like we may have a year filter applied inadvertently. And I believe this should give us the state that we're looking for to create our first bookmark. So let's add a bookmark and let's call this one Show Slicer Panel. So that should capture the visible state. Now if we go back to selection and hide that group, we should be able to go back and add another bookmark capturing this state called Hide Slicer Panel. And those should be the only two bookmarks that we need. But there's one more adjustment that we may want to make here, which is changing how these slicers impact the page. And you'll notice that by default, these bookmarks are designed to capture any changes to the data, like filters applied on a page, and also what objects are displayed. So in this case, if someone had filters applied on the page, I don't really want to reset or change those filters when they show the slicer panel. I just want to display those objects and those slicers that we created. So to do that, I can actually uncheck data. And now you can see that that's no longer selected here in the Show Slicer Panel bookmark. And we'll do the same thing for hide. We're going to deselect that data option. That will just allow that panel to show and hide seamlessly without changing any of the data on the page. So final step here, we just need to configure actions for those two icons or buttons that we created, the filter icon to show the panel and that back icon to hide it. So let's go ahead and select that filter icon or that filter button we created, head into format, drill all the way down to action, turn on the action. This is going to be a bookmark action. And this one we're going to link to our Show Slicer Panel bookmark. And now, big moment of truth. Drum roll, please. Cross your fingers. Let's control click and check it out. We've shown our slicer panel. Now we can select this back button, head to format. Oh, we've got the whole group. So select the back button itself. Looks good. Apply an action, bookmark, and this one is going to hide the slicer panel. Let's try it again. Control click, and we're hidden. So there you go. We've got our custom slicer panel that users can use to now filter this report page, this executive dashboard, by year and by continent. Really great way to add some advanced customization and interactivity to your Power BI dashboards. Now, if you're excited to learn more and build job-ready skills, check out our best-selling Power BI desktop course, or dive into our specialist path, which covers desktop, service, advanced DAX, PL300 certification, and more. You can also explore our entire suite of self-paced courses, guided projects, and portfolio tools, and create your own personalized learning plan for free. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more data content just like this. I'll see you in the next one.